Okay. So I'll begin now. So telling to Parvati that as you have enjoyed hearing the glories of the first chapter of Bhagavad Gita, I shall continue with the second. So now Shivji will tell the glory of the second chapter. He's beginning. Okay. So there was a Brahmana named Devashyama, and he lived in south of India, and the place name was Pandharpur. So the Pandharpur was in South India. Okay. And the Brahman's name was Devashyam. And there were few Brahmins who could equal him in the performance of fire sacrifices, because he used to do the fire sacrifice so highly that no one could do equal to him. So additionally, he took great care in receiving guests and so earned the favor of the gods. In spite of all this, he was not satisfied at heart, because he felt that this knowledge was incomplete. So he was thinking that although he had already learned all the Vedas and Puranas, everything he learned, but then also he was claiming that no, something is pending for me, for me to learn. So he was searching for that. So yeah, he was regularly receiving guests, receiving great brahmanas, highly qualified brahmanas, and he used to receive him as a guest, and he used to ask his doubts. But then also his incomplete knowledge was not completed. So then he was just one day he was just roaming, and then he saw a cross-legged brahmana, a yogi, and he was doing means yoga. So then he was meditating, and this Devashyama went to that cross-legged brahmana and just offered obeisances. So here we can understand that in the Bhagavad Gita, Krishna says, means first of all, we should offer our obeisances to the spiritual master, and then we should ask our questions, our doubts with respect. So Krishna is telling pariprasnena sevaya, means by with respect, by not the mood of challenging, not by challenging mood, one should ask with respect. So yeah, pariprasnena sevaya. So here also Devashyama uh, Devashyama went to that cross-legged brahmana and first offered his obeisances. So then he asked his question to that brahmana, that can you teach me what is incomplete knowledge for me, that he asked this doubt, and then Devashyama, then that cross-legged brahmana told him that there is one goat herder in Sopur, in northern side. So that cross-legged brahmana told him that there is one goat herder, and his name is Mitravan. So go to him, and you can ask your doubt to him. So he can answer your doubt. So then he went to that Mitravan. So upon arriving in Sopur, he discovered a beautiful forest on the northern side. It was there that he found Mitravan sitting on some rocks by a river. It was a beautiful scene with soft breezes wafting the fragrance of wild flowers in all directions, while the river's waters rippled by making continuous and delightful sounds that served as background music to the cooling air. So there was very good atmosphere, and then he went to Mitravan and asked his doubt, that can you tell me that whatever I'm thinking that I have some my knowledge is not complete. So can you tell that knowledge? So then Mitravan patiently heard Devashyam's question, and in regard to attaining devotion to Lord Krishna, and after careful thought, he gave reply. So now Devashyam asked to Mitravan whatever he was having doubts, and then Mitravan started replying. So many years ago, while herding, so now this Mitravan in answering the Devashyam's question, Mitravan is telling a story. So many years ago, while herding my goats in the forest, a hungry tiger attacked us. So he's telling that he's a goat herder. So he was herding his goats. So then suddenly a tiger attacked him. Out of fear, we scattered in all directions. From a safe distance, I looked back and saw that the tiger had concerned one of the goats and was about to devour him. So when all the goats were, means running, so then the Mitravan saw that one of the goats are kept by the lion. So then he was very shocked, and he was in tension. He was tense, and then suddenly at that moment something very strange and wonderful happened. The mood of the tiger suddenly changed from ferocious anger to peaceful serenity. So suddenly the mood of tiger became so peaceful, and he relaxed his grip on the goat, who was quite astonished by the change. So the tiger changed his mood, and he was very peaceful suddenly. So the goat said, "Dear tiger, are you playing some cruel game? I don't understand why you are not devouring my flesh with great satisfaction." So the goat was also confused that why this tiger is not eating me, why is not killing me. So he was also confused. Then that goat asked to lion that why are you not eating me and killing me. So to this the tiger replied, "I myself do not understand. I am overcome by a great sense of peace and satisfaction." So the tiger himself was not understanding that what wrong is with me, how I became peaceful. So then the tiger continued, "It seems that all hunger and thirst has left me and gone to a distant place. So he's telling that I don't know, all my thirst and hunger are gone. So how they are gone, I don't know, but they are gone." So noticing a monkey sitting on a branch in a nearby tree, the tiger prompted. So there was a monkey sitting on the tree, and the tiger prompted him. "So, dear goat, let us approach this monkey. He looks as though he knows something." So this tiger is telling that this tiger is telling that I think that this monkey knows something about us. So then they both approached the monkey and asked for an explanation. The monkey softly laughed and with great respect informed them of a very ancient story. So now this Mitravan is telling a story to Devashyam, and then now the monkey is going to tell a ancient story. So let's continue. Deep in this forest, there is a magnificent temple in which Lord Brahma placed a Shivaling to be worshipped. The Shivaling was worshipped every day by a sage who offered it fresh forest flowers and clean river water. So there was a Shivling. There is a Shivling in that forest, and a sage was there at that time, and he used to worship by offering forest flowers and river water. So one day, a holy man visited the temple, and as a good host, Sukarma fed. So uh, that Brahmana's name was Sukarma. And so Sukarma fed him nice fruits and water, because the sage used to eat these items only. So this Sukarma offered him nice fruits and water to that the holy man. And being pleased by the service of Sukarma, that holy man taught him knowledge of Lord Krishna and inscribed on a stone slab the second chapter of the Bhagavad Gita. So the holy man came on his on the at the house of Sukarma. So Sukarma offered him the fruits and water, and then after eating that, that holy man inscribed the third chapter of Bhagavad Gita in a on a stone. So he wrote that third chapter on a stone, and then he then left, but not before instructing Sukarma to daily recite the words of those verses with great devotion. So whatever this the holy man wrote that that sage told Sukarma recite that verses every day. And then Sukarma practiced this for the rest of life, and by doing so, gained the full mercy of um, Lord Krishna, okay, and which saved him from hunger, thirst, and anxiety. So by that the holy man told him that please recite it every day. Those slokas which were written by that holy man. So then by his instruction, he was reciting those verses every day, and then one day which saved him from hunger, thirst, and anxiety. So gradually his hunger, thirst, and anxiety was over. Okay. So then because of those wonderful activities which were performed here, and because of the presence of the verses on the stone, anyone who visits this place immediately gets full relief from the pangs of hunger and thirst and all types of distress. Okay. So this monkey is telling that story, and he's telling that so by the that holy man inscribed those verses on the stone. So by the power of those verses, here in this forest, whoever comes to his hunger and thirst become peace. Okay. So he gets full relief from the pangs of her hunger and thirst. Okay. So now this monkey concluded his story, and then Mitravan continued. So Mitravan is telling the story of this monkey. Okay. So now Mitravan is continuing. So Mitravan continued. Dear, dear Devashyam, after hearing that wonderful story, I went with the goat and tiger to visit that temple, which housed the inscribed stone, and I read over and over again. So this Mitravan also was listening that story with monkey. So then after hearing that, this Mitravan, goat, and tiger went. They went to that temple, and they were chanting again and again. They were chanting those wonderful verses of chapter 2 of Bhagavad Gita. Sorry, I told wrong that those verses were of the second chapter, that the holy man inscribed the verses of second chapter, not the third chapter. So now then that verses were inscribed in the stone. So these Mitravan and goat and tiger then they started reciting that verses, and when they were reciting, so they were getting some happiness, and uh, so so that's why they chanted those verses again and again, and they felt some bliss. So then Lord Shiva concluded. Okay, so now can I read over and over again those wonderful verses of chapter 2 of Bhagavad Gita. So in this way we attain devotion to Lord Krishna. You also, my friend, can achieve the same success simply by faithfully reciting the second chapter of Bhagavad Gita. So Mitravan is telling to that Devashyam that you can also recite those verses again and again and every day. So you will also get free from thirst and hunger, and you will attain the abode of Lord Krishna. Okay, so now Lord Shiva is concluded, and so my dear queen, queen means Lord Shiva is telling to Parvati, Devashyam was divinely blessed by the instruction of Mitravan and returned home to Pandharpur, where he continued to daily recite the second chapter. He would also recite it to anyone willing to listen. So Lord Shiva is telling to Parvati that Devashyam went to his house and continued that chanting the verses of second chapter, and whoever was willing to hear those verses, so he would recite for them. Okay, so thus end this the glory of the second chapter. So anyone has some question in this story, so that I can continue with the next. Okay, so I think we don't have any questions. So from this we can understand from this story that whoever recites the verses of second chapter will surely attain the abode of Lord Krishna, as this Devashyam got. So Devashyam was claiming this that some knowledge is incomplete. So that knowledge was completed by this Mitravan. Okay. So now we'll go to the second story, the glory of the third chapter of Bhagavad Gita. So the story's title is The Ghost Attains a Vishnu Form. A ghost attains a Vishnu form. Okay. So I will start telling the story. Jada, the Brahmana, lived in a town called Janasthana. So there was a Brahmana named Jada, and he was living in a town called Janasthana. He was born in the dynasty of Kaushika, means he was a Brahmana. Jada abandoned the religious duties that are prescribed in the scriptures and instead took to a life of hunting, gambling, drinking, and other vices. So this Jada, this Brahmana, although he was Brahmana from his caste, but he was not following his duty, which were prescribed in the Vedas which were prescribed in the Vedas for a Brahman, for an idol Brahmana. So in this point, we can discuss a point that in the Bhagavad Gita 4.13, 4 chapter 13th verse, Krishna is telling Chaturvanya Maya Srishtam Guna Karma Vibhagasha. So here this word is very important, Guna Karma Vibhagasha. So here Krishna is telling that whether a person is Brahmana, Vaishya, Kshatriya or Shudra is decided with his qualities and works. So whether a person is Brahmana, Kshatriya, Vaishya, it is decided by his works and qualities. Guna and Karma. Guna Karma Vibhagasha. By his Guna and Karma it is decided. So here we can understand that Jada was the Brahmana from his caste, but he was not following his prescribed duties. So we can conclude that Jada was, although he was Brahmana from his caste, so Brahmana was caste, but he was not doing his prescribed duty. So will not consider Jada as a Brahmana, because he is not performing his prescribed duties, whatever is prescribed in the Vedas for a Brahmana, he is not doing those duties. So that's why this will not be considered as a Brahmana. Okay, because a person, whether he is a Brahmana, Kshatriya, Vaishya, Shudra, it is decided by his works and qualities, Guna and Karma. But Jada, although was a Brahmana, but he had no qualities and he was not performing any works which are prescribed in the Vedas for an idol Brahmana. Okay, so now we'll continue. After wasting his money in this way, he decided to take a business trip to the northern countries, which he promptly did. So now this Jada was, although he was a Brahmana, so he was doing business. So after first he acquired all the money, and then he wasted his whole money in this gambling, drinking, hunting in this. So he wasted his money, and then by wasting it, so he went to a business trip to northern countries, and then after gaining much wealth, he began his journey back. So what he used to do, that first acquire money and then waste money in hunting, gambling, and again acquire money. So he used to do like this. So he went to northern countries to acquire money. Some days later, having covered a long distance, he found himself in a very deserted place. Okay. So this when he was traveling, this Jada Brahmana was traveling, this foolish Brahmana. So then he was in a deserted place. In the he was in a place where all the desert is there, so no mud is there. So then he prepared to, means he thought that I should take rest. So however, he was as darkness slowly descended, he settled down to take rest under a tree. So he thought that now I should take, because the sun is going, and now as darkness is coming, so I should take rest under the small tree. So however, he was discovered by robbers who plundered his wealth and brutally beat him to death. So then what happened then, that when he was sleeping on under a tree, so robbers came and took his wealth and brutally beat him, and he died like this. So then because Jada had led such a sinful life, the agents of death means Yamdutas, punished him to become a ghost. So this Jada Brahmana was not a good Brahmana, and he was not performing his duties. So that's why this Jada Brahmana, so the god of death means Yamaraja, told him to become a ghost. Okay. So unlike his father, the son of Jada was a very pious and religious person who had studied all the ancient scriptures and practiced them. So this Jada Brahmana was had a son, and this Jada was not at all a good Brahmana, but his son was very expert in scriptures, and he used to perform his activities, whatever is prescribed in the Shastras for an ideal Brahmana. So realizing his father's return was long overdue, the son decided to go and search for him. So this Jada Brahmana was killed. So so Jada Brahmana didn't come for many days. So then his son went to search him, that where my father is. So then after many days, he was able to trace out the travel route his father had taken and made inquiries to all he met. So now he started searching for where father is, and he started inquiring the people. So finally he got that route. Eventually he met a traveler who knew of Jada's death and explained what happened. So this Jada's son, so Jada's son was he was searching. So he got a man, and that man told him, explained him that what happened of Jada. So Jada died, no? So that man was telling that he died, so he'll not return now. So then upon hearing this, the dutiful son began a journey to Kashi. To offer Pinda for the benefit of his father's soul. So, okay. So here now, because the father is dead now, so this his son went to Kashi to perform Pindadan for his father. So we'll discuss a point here, Putra. So this the word Putra means Pun trayate, pun namak nagara trayate iti putraha. Matlab means who saves his father from the hell named Pu. So whoever one who saves his father from the hell named Pu is called a Putra. So this by this Jada's son was performing Pinda, and by that Pinda activity, by performing that, this Jada's son was saving his father from the hell, from Namak Nagar. Okay, Pun Namak hell. So yeah. So this is the definition for the word Putra. By strange coincidence, at the end of the ninth day of his journey, the son stopped under the same tree where his father had met with the agents of death. So now, the same place where that Jada took rest. So the same place this Jada's son went, and he was searching for his father, and then as he also took rest at the same tree, on that tree that his father had met with the agents of death, where he died, where his father died. So at that place only, this his son came and started resting. Okay, so now, um, so the son stopped under the same tree where his father had met with the agents of death. Before taking rest, he performed his daily worship of Lord Krishna and chanted the third chapter of Bhagavad Gita. So he used to do like this, that when before sleeping, before taking rest, he used to recite his he used to do his daily worship and recite the third chapter of Bhagavad Gita. So as he completed the recitation, a supernatural sound vibrated in the sky overhead. So as he completed the recitation of the third chapter, a supernatural sound, Akashvani, happened. So looking up, he saw an astonishing sight. So then he looked upwards, and then he saw a light. So Jada before his eyes, very eyes. So then when he saw on upwards, so he saw that my father is there in a Vishnu form. Okay, so that. So now we'll hear the conversation between the son and the father. So, okay. So it was his father, Jada, before his very eyes. His father's form changed into that of a divine being resembling Lord Vishnu himself. So that ghost became that Jada, when he was a ghost. So after changing his body, he became a Vishnu himself. Means a form of Vishnu he got. So he possessed extraordinary features of great beauty, and the brightness of his body lit up all directions. Jada showered down blessings and explained to his to his son. Okay, so here Jada Brahmana gave blessings to his son, and then he told that, my dear son, because you recited the third chapter of Bhagavad Gita, I have been released from the ghostly life I received due to my past sins. So that Jada is telling that because you recited the third chapter of Bhagavad Gita here only, where I was a ghost, so where I met with the agents of death. So here you have recited the third chapter of Bhagavad Gita. So now I am released from the life of ghost, and I have freed from all my past sins. So you are a righteous son, and I am very pleased with you. As you have now successfully fulfilled your duty, you may return home with my blessings. Because a son means the son's duty is to release his ancient ancestors, to release him from the past sins. Okay, so please release him and any of our ancestors trapped and suffering here, and three there in many different species of life. So then Jada is telling that my ancestors also committed sins. So please release them also by reciting this third chapter. Okay, so upon hearing this, the selfless son exclaimed, in that case, I will continue chanting the third chapter until all the fallen souls in creation are free. So the Jada told that all my ancestors only means all my ancestors are free from the hell. That only you recite for them only you recite this the third chapter. But the son told that upon hearing this, in that case, I will continue chanting the third chapter until all the fallen souls in creation are free. So pleased by his noble son's commitment, the father said, "Let it be so." So if you want that all the people in the creation are free, become free from this uh, bondage of material, so death means death and janma mrityu jara vyati. So you want that, so let it be so. And then he that Jada departed to the abode of Krishna, Vaikuntha. And the son then returned to Janasthana, where he used to live, and with a strong desire to liberate all the fallen souls trapped in the hell. So he was having a desire that I should now, by reciting the third chapter, I should now liberate all the fallen souls which are in hell. He meditated upon his deity of Lord Krishna and with great concentration recited the third chapter of the Bhagavad Gita. He continued like this for many days. In this way, he gained the attention of Lord Vishnu, who was reclining peacefully on the bed of Anantashesha in the ocean of milk. So he was continuing to recite the third chapter for many days. So by doing that, he gained the attention of Lord Vishnu. So Lord Vishnu told that, who is that person? So the Lord called for his messengers, the Vishnu Dutas, and instructed them, go to the kingdom of Yamaraj, the Lord of Death, with the following message. Okay. So now Vishnu is going to tell a message for Yamaraj. So dear Yamaraj, my trusted servant, I hope all is well with you. I have something for you to do. Kindly release all the souls suffering in hell. Thank you. So Vishnu is telling that release all the souls who are suffering in the hell, because this Jada's son has recited the third chapter of Bhagavad Gita for many days. So all the souls are free now. Okay. So Yamraja dutifully followed the Lord's instruction and then wisely took the opportunity to personally visit Lord Vishnu. Okay. So now this Yamraja dutifully did whatever Vishnu told him, that release all the souls, and then Yamraja went to the abode of Vishnu to meet him once personally. Arriving there at Shvetadvip, the ocean of milk, Yamraj entered the presence of Lord Vishnu. He marveled at the wondrous scene before him. Okay, so now Yamraj entered the abode of Vishnu, and now he saw that the goddess of fortune lovingly massaged the Lord's lotus feet, while the chief gods, sages, and celestial beings worshipped him with heartfelt praise and offered continuous prayers. Okay, so when he entered, so he saw like this, that all the sages are worshipping him, and the goddess of fortune, Lakshmi Devi, is massaging the Lord's lotus feet. Okay, so after a pause, Yamraja continued, dear Lord, I have followed your instruction and released all those in hell. What now would you have me do? So now Yamraj is telling that you told me to release all the souls. So then what I will do now? Because there is no work for me. There is no duty for me. All the souls are released. So then Lord Vishnu smilingly, mercifully replied with a voice deep as thunder, but as sweet as honey. So you can see that how Lord Vishnu used to tell, with deep as thunder, but as sweet as honey. Dear God of justice, I am very pleased with you. So this Vishnu is telling to Yamraj that I am very pleased with your service. Please return to your own abode and continue your service. Even though you have released all of those souls from hell, sadly you will never be without new souls. Okay. That although now you have released all the souls, but new souls will come, because sadly new souls will come, because all the new souls will commit new sins. Okay, So don't worry, new souls will come to your abode and you will get the opportunity to make justice. Okay. In the meantime, Jada's son, who was chanting the third chapter of Bhagavad Gita, was taken by the Vishnu Dutas to the abode of Vishnu, where he is engaged in the eternal service of the Lord to his very day. Okay. So now by reciting the third chapter every day, this Jada's son got went to the abode of um, Krishna. Okay. The Vishnu Dutas took him to his abode. So thus end the glory of the fourth chapter. Okay. So that's sorry, this is third chapter, I think. Yeah, third chapter. Okay, so you have any questions? Mayank Prabhu, Shaurya Prabhu, do you have any questions?
No, Prabhuji.
Okay, everything is clear? Hare Krishna.
Yes, Prabhuji.
Okay, so now we'll end the session. So we have discussed the first and second, the glory of second and third chapter session by Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.